Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Thursday, the 30th of May 2024. In today's Millwall news, a few interesting stories popping up today. We start off with this from Millwall Supporters Club. Remember them? MSC. Summer update. So they have, if you didn't know, this is a supporters club that was initiated I believe after the fun times against Birmingham, and they have regular meetings with the club to try and solve issues that fans have with the club, and their position has kind of weakened over the years, kind of been superseded by the fan on the ball and stuff like that. But they carry on regardless, and here we go. Let's all have a read of this. So, dear Ali, oh no, so dear. It's been a roller coaster year for us all at Millwall, both on and off the pitch. Having sadly lost a true club legend in John Berylson, we entered a period of mourning and uncertainty. Fast forward a few months, and we welcome back another club legend in Neil Harris, who helped us find stability through collecting 28 points, a number only topped by Ipswich in the same time. During the months that he's been back, as the players and coaching staff recharge, it's been a busy time for the MSC off the pitch as we push ahead with taking your feedback on what enhancements you'd like to see at the Den and lobbying the club to make improvements to the items that matter most. We are pleased to share that we can look forward to a number of changes for the new campaign, including toilets to be installed in the fan zone by the Blue Bus, allowing fans to use the amenities after turnstiles have opened without having to head inside early. So obviously, I don't really use this. I use this like once for round the back by the east, round the back of the east stand. They moved the Blue Bus there, and they have a gazebo, whatever it's called, and they sell drinks there. And you would think, well, if you're selling drinks, what do drinks do? They make people go wee wee. So you would think they would have somewhere for people to piss, especially as there is a memorial garden right there, and the temptation would be to do the unthinkable. But yeah, so it seems they are putting in some porta potties for people to use. So there you go. Now, number 2. A detailed review of the turnstile situation for those in the east is underway. A new bar will be installed in the old Matchday shop along with an additional turnstile. Plans are being made to open up more turnstiles for the Docker stand in due course. Okay, so somebody's saying there's not enough turnstiles. I don't know about that. I generally sit in the west upper, which if you go in 4, 5 and 6 you do need to come around the back that way. But these days I'm more or less in block 1. A new bar will be installed in the onwards. Is that for the inside or for the outside? Don't know. So people have been complaining about the turnstiles, it seems, and they are adding 1 new turnstile. Okay. Alright. Number 3. We share your concern about the closure of the South Bermondsey station on match days, and the club is now working with a PR company to lobby local government, Southern Rail, Network Rail, TfL and other stakeholders. We will update you when we have more on this. Yeah, it's literally every weekend, more or less, and it's always when our home games are on. Like, what's that about? Now, I don't know how this works, or if it could work. When they were doing the new Thameslink route updates for the new London Bridge, you see all the shiny new platforms they did. Because that took quite some time and they needed to do quite a lot of work for it, they did some work at South Bermondsey where they could have trains turning around. So they'd have trains coming in and then going back out from South Bermondsey. but that was from the south. That was because they couldn't go into London Bridge because the work was happening there. So I don't know if that works the other way around as well. And I don't know if they could do that, because I think a lot of the work is being closed because they're doing work at like Peckham Rye and Tulse Hill. I don't think it's because they're doing work from London Bridge or down to, because that's all new stuff, I think. I don't know. I don't really know. You have to ask a Charlton fan about all this stuff. But I don't know. So they obviously, with this new crossover, I don't know if they could, if the line is closed because there's work further down, can they run a bit of it between London Bridge and South Bermondsey? Just, not even just for match days, just for when the match is on. Like, could they just run shuttle trains between London Bridge and South Bermondsey and then back again? From, say, I don't know, 12 o'clock to whenever, like 6 o'clock when the game ends. I don't know. Could they run trains? I don't. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. You have to talk to them about that, but we have to wait and see. Obviously, there's supposed to be a new station happening, but seeing as Renewal haven't even started building yet, so how long are we going to get this new station? But yeah, that's annoying as F. But obviously, it happens so regularly that I'm sure we all have ways around it and ways that we go now to find out. Like, you have to work your way around it. You know, it is what it is. The club will be installing a new information point opposite the main reception where the Blue Bus used to live. It will be an area to drop off bags ahead of matches and events, as well as your new place to find us for a chat or some merchandise. Right, so here we go. Someone said somewhere else about this that they've heard rumours that you won't be allowed to bring your bags into the ground now. So if you are a female lady woman with a handbag, you will not be allowed to bring that into the stadium. That's kind of weird. Yeah, that is. I'm sure a lot of women's not gonna be liking that. So obviously that's just a rumor, but it seems to be this is like a. Now, is that optional? Is that going to be optional? We have had a lot of tourists now. It would be bizarre. Do they bring their luggage with them to the ground? Maybe they do. Maybe they have had like proper mongs turning up with their wheelie luggages, thinking like, well, you can't come into the stadium with your fucking luggage, mate. Like, what are you doing? Like, what? I do know as well that there are a few fans that come to the games on the motorcycles and helmet. What are they going to do with a helmet? And they were told, well, you can do that. You can do that. Go to the reception and just leave it with the woman at the receptionist, and then after the game you have to come in and get it. Well, I think they probably don't want people doing that either, so maybe it's that. Now, here we go. This one is number 5. It's not listed as number 5. Most importantly, the Memorial Garden will be tended to over the summer and receive a number of improvements, including the installation of border fencing, a general tidy-up, and renaming the garden in honour of John Berylson. So there you go. So border fencing, is that to stop people just from aimlessly wandering into it without realising what it is? So it's going to be fenced off, and there's going to be like a little thing that you have to walk through to go in there. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see what it is that they're doing. So if you have any questions about the above, feel free to get in touch, and we'll try our best to find the answer. Our inboxes are frequently monitored, so if you have any other ideas or comments, feel free to contact any one of us below. Have a wonderful summer when it comes, and see you next season. Below, there is a comment section below, and they also have a Facebook and X, what was that, LinkedIn, and some other thing there. So yeah, if you're happy about that, you're not happy about that, get in touch with Millwall Supporters Club at millsupportersclub.co.uk. Now moving on to this. Now, was it last week we reported Sky Sports Plus, the new streaming platform for many EFL games next season. I think it was like 1,000 odd. Well, it's just got even kind of weirder and maybe better for some of you who don't have Sky and have no interest in getting Sky, or you can't get Sky. This is from EFL.com. Sky Sports and ITV agree deal in principle to broadcast select Carabao Cup and EFL Championship fixtures free to air from 2025. Sky Sports and ITV have reached an agreement in principle which will give all UK football fans a chance to watch free-to-air coverage of select Carabao Cup and Championship fixtures. The new deal starts in January 2025, commencing with the Carabao Cup semi-finals, running until the end of 26-27 season, and means ITV will jointly broadcast a select number of games also available on Sky Sports. So this is an exclusive, it's a simulcast. The new arrangement has also been approved by EFL clubs in accordance with the league's regulations. At each full season, ITV will screen at least 9 Carabao Cup matches in total, including, and obviously this isn't exclusive, it's so you'll be able to get it on Sky and on ITV. 1 tie from each of the first 4 rounds, 1 additional tie from either the 3rd or 4th round. So that's another, okay, from either the 3rd or 4th round. 2 quarter-final ties, 1 semi-final tie, and the final. Additionally, ITV will simulcast 10 matches from the EFL Championship each full season, and 5 matches in the second half of the 24-25 season, so next season, with the option to flex their selection to matches from League 1 or League 2. Now this suggests some kind of last-minute haphazard deal. So this isn't for the next season. This is to start in January. Why not in August? I would imagine because ITV have already got their program sorted, their big hitters. Maybe they want it on Saturday. They want the Saturday 5 o'clock one. Because they got the ITV racing. Maybe they want a whole day of race, whole day of sport or whatever. And they've got right now they've got stuff like whatever it's gonna be, X Factor or whatever. So they can't show it then. So they're waiting until January. So it suggests a lack of planning. It's like lastminute.com. But here's the thing: Sky have a free-to-air channel. They have, is this Sky Sports Mix Channel 11 on Freeview? Obviously, I don't think everyone in the country can get that. If you're in like some weird Highlands or Islands, you probably can't get that. But they have their own channel that people can watch free to air. So I don't know why they're letting ITV do this deal. Kind of weird. The deal comes as EFL and Sky Sports kick off their groundbreaking partnership at the start of the 24-25 season, with over 1,000 matches every season broadcast live. 4 times as many matches as now, and all 72 teams featured over 20 times this season. The huge number of games will be brought to sports fans via Sky Sports Plus, which comprises multiple live streams, a new dedicated channel, and revamped Sky Sports mobile app, all at no extra cost. For Sky Sports subscribers, EFL clubs will enjoy unprecedented exposure as a result, and the additional reach of ITV from 2025 ensures more of the action from the league will be available to broader audiences and millions of football fans. Now. Clearly, this is very unlikely to feature any Millwall games. Why is that? What do ITV and BBC do when they have the FA Cup and they show FA Cup games? What do they do with their picks? Man United, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea. It's the same old teams over and over again because they want to get ratings, and they just do that. Even when there's like more interesting, maybe potential of a giant killing, nah, just Man United versus Crystal Palace, like, let's do that, even though it's not going to be the best of games, because it's literally kind of a pseudo Premier League game, because you've got two Premier League teams playing each other, and I'd rather show that than show like Man United versus Newport County. But they probably will still show that because they've got Man United and people will tune in. So this is a highly unlikely to feature any Millwall games, but here you go. Now, as part of ITV's long-standing partnership with the EFL, we will also be extending the existing EFL highlights deal, beginning at the start of the forthcoming 2024-25 season by broadcasting 55 highlights programs per season. These matches and highlights will be shown across ITV1 and ITV4, with simultaneous streaming and on-demand viewing available on ITVX. So the highlights, if you've been watching them, if you don't watch them online, they're still going to be on ITV1 and ITV4. And then you got some waffle from the bigwigs. Yeah. What can you say? Just a weird deal. I don't know why. This like Sky have kind of sublet the rights that they got. Maybe that's how they make some of their money back, rather than just straight advertising. Maybe that was always the plan. I don't know, but it's not a lot. Is it 10 games a season? From out of the thousands that they're going to show. Now, the deadline is approaching. If you were a season ticket holder and you want to stay in the same seat, you have a few days left to do so by buying your ticket. This is from millwallfc.co.uk. Save your seat. 24-25 season ticket deadline fast approaching. The deadline for Millwall supporters to save their seat is approaching, with 24-25 season tickets on sale. After Monday the 3rd of June, seats not secured for the new campaign at the Den will be released for others to buy. Over 7,000 people will be backing the boys in SC16, so why not join them? Yes. So there you go. If you haven't done it yet and you intended to do it, you should get your skates on, because you've got 2 days left to do it. Now, moving on to a couple of stories from Southern News. Obviously, Thursday's been a publication day for the Southern News, and this week I put a couple of decent pieces together, considering there's not much to talk about. It's kind of reflective of the past and what's been happening on past Millwall players and past Millwall situations. So this is from southernnews.co.uk. 7 of Millwall's 2017 League One player final squad released this summer, but 2 of the oldest players are still going. Yeah, Tony Craig is still kicking. 2 members of the back 4 are still playing as they approach their 40s. 7 players involved in Millwall's League One playoff final win have been released this summer, but 2 of the oldest members of that starting side are still going strong. The Lions defeated Bradford City 1-0 at Wembley thanks to Steve Morrison's goal. Morrison, 40, is only one of 2 members of the matchday 18 to have retired from playing. The other is midfielder Jimmy Abdu. Abdu's midfield partner that day, Sean Williams, 37, has been released by Gillingham. One of the only 2 players from the 18 still at Millwall, Sean Hutchison, will leave the Den when his contract expires at the end of next month. Goalkeeper Jordan Archer is leaving Queen's Park Rangers. Archer made a crucial save at 0-0. Ars Chief Executive Christian Anori said Jordan's infectious enthusiasm and support of the first team playing group over the course of the campaign was pleasing to see. We had good conversations throughout my time here, and I wish Jordan the best as he looks to find a challenge for playing time elsewhere. Striker Lee Gregory, who set up Morrison's goal, is departing Sheffield Wednesday, and he's already moving on to Mansfield Town. Rotherham United are not retaining Shane Ferguson, and Aidan O'Brien's time at Shrewsbury Town is ending. And Fred Onyedinma, who was the only member of the squad to go on and play in the Premier League, is being released by Luton Town. 2 players from the back 4 are approaching 40 years old, yet still showing no signs of stopping. The captain that day, Tony Craig, is under contract at Dorking Wanderers for the 24-25 National League South season after their relegation. And Byron Webster, 37, scored the now iconic winning penalty for Bromley in a National League playoff final earlier this month. The Ravens have yet to release their retained list ahead of their first ever League 2 campaign. the other members of the squad that day are still under contract with their clubs. So there you go. You know you're getting old when players start retiring. There you go. Callum Butcher's at Motherwell, apparently. Ben Thompson moved on to Stevenage after Peterborough. David Worrell, Barrow. He's at Barrow. Jake Cooper, heard of him? Still at Millwall. Jed Wallace at West Bromwich Albion. Marlon Romeo at Cardiff City. Unless he gets convicted for drink driving, and then he'll be in HMPFC. And Tom King, I mentioned him the other day. Wolverhampton Wanderers. Third choice goalkeeper who doesn't play but got an international call up. How's that for luck? So there you go. Just an interesting piece about the passage of time and how quickly it moves on. What was that? 7 years ago? Funny, huh? Long old time. And now, moving on to the second piece. It's from southwarknews.co.uk. What happened to Mill's FA Cup final squad? Where are they now, as they used to say in, what was it, 90 Minutes or whatever it's called. What was the other one? Score. Was it Score magazine? Do you remember magazines? Do you remember paper, made out of paper? You could read them. Health blogging, appearing on I'm a Celeb, and working for TFL. What happened next in Mill's 2004 FA Cup final squad? 20 years on from the famous game against Manchester United, the lives of the Mill players have headed in different directions. Indeed, few football fans would have given Millwall hope in hell of beating Manchester United in the 2004 FA Cup final. And after 44 minutes of frustration, the game eventually went how the majority expected, as young Cristiano Ronaldo put the Red Devils on the path to an eventual 3-0 victory. It was still a historic match for Millwall and all the players involved on that day, just over 20 years ago. But what's happened to them since? News at 10 had a look at Andy Marshall. Marshall was required to make a few good saves to keep Man United at bay throughout the game. After retiring in 2014, Marshall took over as Mill goalkeeping coach in 2022. Marvin Elliott drafted in at right back to replace the injured Kevin Muscat. Elliott will make 164 appearances for the Lions before heading to Bristol City for 7 years. He played his last professional games at non-league level with Kingstonian in 2018. Since then, the now 39-year-old has largely stayed out of the news, but did appear as a guest at Bristol Pub during the 2022 Qatar World Cup. Matty Lawrence, with 250 mil appearances under his belt, Shaggy was popular among fans during his 6 years at the Den. In recent years, the 49-year-old has been working in America, doing punditry and commentary on the MLS. Darren Ward, 45, made 268 appearances and held strong alongside Lawrence before Ronaldo's opening goal on the stroke of half-time at the Millennium Stadium. Now a coach with a UEFA A licence, Ward works at DW Soccer School, who describe themselves as a platform to help bridge the gap between grassroots and academy-level football. It's going really well, Ward told Storied Football Podcast in January. DW Soccer School has grown from strength to strength. I think people have seen the standards which we set, which I took from the professional game and brought into grassroots to try and help the community and younger players to learn the game in a positive and healthy way. Ward also writes a blog on health and nutrition. Nice. Robbie Ryan, who started at left back in Cardiff, probably has the most interesting post-retirement story of any of the 2004 Cup team. After falling out of love with football, the former defender, now 47, has been working as a TFL cable lineman for over a decade. So he's a lineman for the county. It's a good job, he told The Sun in 2019. It's hard, but there's a lot of responsibility. You're dealing with low electricity at 750 direct current. Most of my work is in the open, but I've gone 150 metres down into the deep tunnels. We've seen a fucking fox literally chops in half on the railways. We've seen a rat with his fucking head hanging off. I took a photo of Shub and Mrs. and the kid. Nice. Poor Eiffel, having limped out of the semi-final against Sunderland, Eiffel managed to make it back fit for the final, but struggled to give John O'Shea much to worry about. The ex-winger, now 44, manages New Zealand Central League side Wellington Olympic. Dennis Wise. Wise returned to TV screens in 2017 on I'm a Celebrity. Get me out of here. finishing ahead of Boris Johnson's dad Stanley and Rebecca Vardy in 6th place. He is now the CEO of Italian club Como, where Cesc Fabregas is the club's assistant manager. They've just been promoted to Serie A after a 21-year absence from the top flight. Apparently their ground isn't big enough either. They might have to not play it at their ground. They might have to play like 20 miles away. David Livermore. Livermore was reminiscing about the FA Cup final on the official Lions podcast Wall Talk, where he recalled Man United hardly having to get out of second gear. Since 2015, the 44-year-old has been Neil Harris's loyal right-hand man at Millwall, Cardiff City and Gillingham. Peter Sweeney, life after football is very busy and not as enjoyable, Sweeney told the Wall Talk podcast in March. Sweeney last played for non-league Greenwich Borough in 2015 and has largely stayed away from the spotlight apart from a couple of interviews reflecting on his mercurial career. Tim Cahill. Cahill announced his retirement from football in March 2019 after a surprise but brief return to Millwall and a short spell at Indian club Jamshedpur. The 44-year-old has since gotten involved in the executive side of sport, buying his own racing team to compete in Formula E in 2022 and becoming the advisor and technical director at the Qatar Football Association. Neil Harris, with 415 games as a player and 258 games as a permanent head coach under his belt at Millwall, Harris is a man that needs no introduction. After leading the Lions to 5 consecutive victories to end last season, Harris will be looking for his side to hit the ground running in August. And on the bench that day, Willie Garay, the 50-year-old ex-goalkeeper who played in the early rounds of the FA Cup in 2003-4 season, retired in 2011, is reported to have set up a cognac production company with his brother Alan Dunn. Dunn has been assistant to Handy Woodman at Bromley over the last few years and will still be celebrating the Ravens' promotion to the Football League earlier this month. Barry Cogan. Midfielder Cogan ended his career playing for non-league sides Dover Athletic, Dartford and Grays Athletic in 2019. There is little information around on what the Irishman has been up to since. Curtis Weston. Weston made history when he came off the bench after 89 minutes against Manchester United, becoming the youngest player to appear in an FA Cup final. Now 37, he works in recruitment. So, in football recruitment or at the job centre? Mark McKemmon last played in 2012 and is now a personal trainer. He managed to get a picture with heavyweight Anthony Joshua on his Instagram. So there you go. Fascinating insight into the past from the Southwark News, and wanted to mention this at this website, issue, spell issuu.com/community matters media. If you wanted to read the Southwark News as a newspaper and not as a web page, as a page on the internet, you can do that. You can go to this website and you can download a PDF of the newspaper as it is printed, and they also have other papers called the Greenwich and Lewisham Weekender, the South London Weekly, and that's if you can't pick up a paper copy of the paper, you can pick up a digital copy of the paper from issue.com. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.